This is Atlantic Television Network. Welcome to the program Society Watch. Society Watch is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to prefer solution that will benefit humanity. And today on Society Watch, we'll be discussing various topics. We'll look at this one coming straight from the economy, where we have reports that NNPCL admits $6 billion debt. And then on insecurity, not our fault, kidnappers are entrapped, a statement by NCC. And on security, prioritize safety before praying against accidents, Reverend Father Calvin statement. And then on religion, Rema gives church 105 million naira for supporting his family. And then on aviation, NACO honors cleaner for returning $10,000. We have our guest already seated in the studio who will let you know his name, and then we'll delve straight to the stories after this break. Please stay with us. All right, good to know you're still with us. Join me in conversation. He is no other than Dafe. He is an editor of the Urobo Voice newspapers. I am Enidoye Jackson, but I must say welcome to Society Watch.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us today. All right, let's talk about Nigeria now. We have reports that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited is facing significant financial challenges due to $1 debt that was owed to petrol suppliers. After initially denying the debts, the NNPCL admitted that it is struggling to maintain fuel supply, leading to widespread fuel shortages and long queues at fuel stations across the country. The debt has caused some suppliers to stop delivering petrol, worsening the crisis. The NNPCL has been the sole importer of petrol and has been selling it at a government-subsidized rate, leading to a financial strain. There are growing speculations that the government may stop paying these subsidies, which could result in a sharp increase in petrol prices above 1,000 naira per litre, allow other marketers to import fuel, breaking NNPCL's monopoly. Now, the ongoing fuel crisis have caused prices to rise above 900 naira per litre at independent fuel stations, while major marketers like NNPC Retail sell at lower prices. It is exacerbated by a lack of supply and desperate bidding by marketers, leading to further price hikes. Now, despite recent efforts to improve fuel supply, the situation remains there for consumers. Now, the thing is, a lot of Nigerians are no longer clear about the whole fuel subsidy thing. Looking at the subsidized rates that the report has told us that is being sold at. In fact, we had reports the other time where the NNPCL told us how much they get to get this fuel from other countries. they had to subsidize it almost half the price, and then they resell to Nigerians. The Nigerians are asking, it's not subsidy was out. So what is this subsidy that is being talked about now? If you get the clear picture, would like to get it from your perspective.
Well, it's quite unfortunate that Nigeria, we came back to democracy in 1999. Before we came back to democracy in 1999, on refineries. Civilian government is better than military government. But for quite about 20 years plus now, we still have issues with fuel supply in Nigeria, the giant of Africa. It's quite unfortunate. The story surrounding petrol supply in Nigeria is pathetic. It's not something that should be told of a nation at this level of development. When I say develop, I'm not talking about development in Nigeria, because here we are not developing. Everybody just cabbage it to see how you can make ends meet. That's what we are doing in Nigeria. We have not really come to terms with development as a nation, as a people. So for me, a lot of stories have been told about these fuel subsidy issues. We have heard that what the government actually did originally was a swap deal. We give you crude, you give us fuel. So how come government is of a deal? Then now suddenly Tinubu came and said, well, subsidy is gone. And as of today, yesterday there are some filling stations in Port Harcourt right now that are selling above 1,000 naira. The one very close to me there, I bought fuel a few days ago, 995 naira per liter of fuel. So when you talk about subsidy, it's unfortunate that Nigerians, we are so educated. In America, Nigerians education. In America, they say, oh, Nigerians who are in America, they have about 60% of literate Nigerians in America. Graduates, educated people. But back home, we have professors who have PhD holders. But look at the way we are running a society, running a country in the 21st century. So for me, it's very, very sad. If you say you have removed fuel subsidy, or you are still subsidizing fuel, how much, now that we are paying 1,000 naira per liter, are you importing the fuel? Are you subsidizing the fuel? Let us know. Government is not run in secrecy. It's only in Nigeria you run government in secrecy. Anybody who goes to government in Nigeria, whether a state governor, whether a local government chairman, whether the president, whatever, once he gets into government, the government must be in secrecy. Government, we define it as democracy, so to say, as the government of the people, for the people. That's the way we define democracy. But democracy in Nigeria has always been
It's been that way.
Yes, now there is no government in Nigeria that has come on board, whether civilian or military, to say this is the platform, this is the vision I want to drive, and every expenses you are making, this is the justification for it. No government tells you that in Nigeria. No government tells you that. Everything in Nigeria, every government in Nigeria is always in secrecy.
But this is information that the public should have access to.
That's what I'm telling you. That is why we have said that government is not of the people in Nigeria. It has always been for a few privilege to be in government. And what are they there for? Is for self-aggrandizement. They want to reach themselves. They already rich anyway, but they want to get rich. Because they are never satisfied.
Doesn't mean we've never had any government in Nigeria, any leadership in Nigeria that has gotten it right with the people, because you just made a generalization.
I don't know of anyone. The only one president that would have maybe made a difference was Yaradua. But he never lasted, he died. Otherwise, he was the only man who acknowledged, even when the INEC was saying, oh, this is the best election we have ever had, the man came on board to say, my election has flaws. And I will amend the electoral laws in this country to give credibility to our elections. Unfortunately, he died. And Jonathan came on board. And we went back to the same scenario. So government in Nigeria has never been for the people, has never created a relationship between government and there has never been a relationship like that. When we talk about relationship, this synergy,
yes,
between those in government and the people. It has never been so in Nigeria. Those who had their way into government always see it that it is their.
But you don't think it's in any way the people not just trusting the government? Because a lot of times the government comes up with certain policies that would look like, oh, Nigerians will smile at it, but then at the end of the day, when you hear people's reaction, you realize that they are not in support of it. And you ask questions like, is it now a problem of this policy not being right for the people? Or is it a problem of the people not just trusting the government at all, no matter what the policy is that the government comes up with?
we Nigerians, we are not all fools. If I should use that word, we are not all fools. If a man wants to do a good thing for you, you will know that this man want to do a good thing for you. So when a government comes up with a policy and people say no, and that policy is going to favor you and me, then you can see that that policy is not good policy. For example, I just mentioned to you, we have 3 refineries in this country. Over in this country, we are talking about modular refineries. We are talking about boosting the economy of a nation, building the economy of a nation, empowering your people, employing the people that you have, your citizens, because people are just roaming about here and there, no job. We have a lot of graduates coming out every year. If what policy has government actually brought to tackle issues of employment in this country, and Nigeria say no, we don't want it. What policy has government? You only told us, oh, by December our refinery will start working. By next year, okay, we'll shift it to March. He will start working.
But that's not just from this administration. That's actually Mele Kyari.
No.
It was Mele Kyari was making those promises.
No.
Even the recent promise was from Mele Kyari.
Government in Nigeria has never been for the people. We have never come into governor to say, well, this is the way I want to build Nigeria. No president has ever come on board to say so. Otherwise, if we had people, leadership, when we say leadership, people really want to build their country. The first thing when Obasanjo came into presidency in 1999, the first thing would have done, within 8 years, enough for Obasanjo to refurbish all the 3 refineries in Nigeria. It's a shame for us to say today we are owing $6.something billion for fuel suppliers. Is it not a shame? In a country you have 3 moribund refineries. In a country where crude oil is running day and night.
Now, monies have been released for refurbishing these refineries, like you probably are aware of, right?
Yes.
So, talking about us or the federal government's face not being in the refinery, monies, especially when we talk about the Port Harcourt refinery, time and time again, we hear billions being released.
Yes.
So, don't you think it has to do with the people who have been put in charge of that? Because from the side of the government, monies have been released.
Thank you very much. Maybe if you have not built a house, maybe you will build a house tomorrow.
This is not about me.
No, I'm coming.
No, it's not about me. So
no,
we're talking to the people.
I know.
Exactly. Refer it there. Yes, thank you very much.
I agree with you, but what I'm going to say, I'm going to create a scenario for you.
With me?
Yeah.
Not with me.
No, just a minute.
Just
listen to me.
Go on, please.
What I want to say here is that when I say maybe you will build a house tomorrow, you will hire a contractor. The way you hire the contractor will tell you to build this your house. You require about 10 million. And you say, okay, contractor, that's good. I trust you will do a good job for me. Say, Frank, okay, here is 10 million for you. Build the house for me. After about 1 year, 2 years, you are not seeing the contractor, you are not seeing your house. I'm sure you're going to clap hand for that your contractor. That is the scenario of Nigeria. So as far as the people we are concerned, the failure of refineries working in Nigeria is a collaboration between the people in government and the so-called people who are operating it. And that's just the truth. These refineries are not working. I'm sure you are aware that the 3 refineries, they pay salary every month.
That's one big question we have been asking.
They pay salary every month. They are not working. So it tells you the nature of your society, that the kind of society you have. We are a very primitive people, I must tell you. Nigerians are very primitive people. Primitivity is not only when you drive big cars and you build some bogus houses there, you say you are open, you are timid.
The last time
so what we are saying here, for a people who are civilized, must think of how do we build our country. Is it not a shame that we are importing, we send crude abroad, and we go to one small country like Malta, to go and buy petroleum product, fuel. Yet we have, it's a shame for me. It's not something we should come on public space to come and discuss about, because we have leaders who are no leaders. People should be farming, weeding farm. They are presidents and governors in Nigeria. People should be weeding farms. So that is the irony that we have as a country. Otherwise, this story is a mess. It's a mess. You understand? Because we do not have people who want to build a country. So we can rigmarole with this kind of story from year to year. Oh,
so okay, let's look at the way forward. Yes, because year to year, just like you stated, fuel queues, scarcity of fuel, and then you hear the government saying, "Oh, don't panic buy. Nigerians don't panic buy," and even Nigerians who will panic buy. That is another risk for families at that moment. So, what do you think can be done moving forward? Let's start with the refineries, because I know you channel it back to the refineries. But then, with the refineries not being functional, and especially the amounts that is still going down in paying workers. The last time we heard from the Warri refinery workers, they were telling us how that's the contract staff now. They were telling us how the government has promised to employ them but has refused. That the new people they always employ, each time they employ, they, the contract staff, are the ones who get to train these guys.
Yes.
And then you don't get to employ them.
Yes.
So what are they training them? What's going on there? If we say this refinery is not producing, then what is this training they are talking about? What is this job they're talking about? Who are these people that are being recruited? Who are these people that are being paid that we're talking about? So let's talk about the way forward now. What do you think we should do? Fund the refineries, fund refurbishing the refineries. We have done that, but we're still where we are.
There is nothing you tell Nigerian government that listens to you. Nigerians don't listen. Nigerians are very hard people. They are difficult people. Once they take their decision, they take their decision. That is the way we live in Nigeria. We are not leaders, and we are not listeners. In a country where you don't punish crime, you cannot solve problem in that country. All over the world, the country that develops are country that punish crime. In Nigeria, you cannot punish crime when it involves the poor. In Nigeria, you punish crime when it involves the poor. You understand? So, but in a country where we say, what is the solution? What solution are you going to give to Tinubu that he doesn't know?
Okay.
Which solution are you going to give to Mele Kyari that he doesn't know? Is it me now that will tell Tinubu to say, okay, do like this, do like this? There will be fuel in Nigeria. And Tinubu will take it. What am I going to tell Mele Kyari? Okay, do like this, and there will be surplusage of fuel in Nigeria. And Mele Kyari was, okay, this young man has told me something. It's meaningless. Because they know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. Look at what we are talking about, bunkering and all the rest all over every time. So they say they destroy how many, they destroy this every time you come out, you blow to your ego. You destroy how many pipes, you destroy how many drums, you just reverse it and Bayelsa. You know the end. Does not end. We are shameless people. We are very shameless people. When we put ourselves in the picture of the whole world, we don't have a sense of shame as a people. Otherwise, all this kind of news, we will just come up to put on the public space and try to feel that they are doing something great. It's nonsensical. All this kind of story, they don't interest me, they don't excite me.
Some people have called for the sack of Mele Kyari. Are you in support of that? When
you put a man in an office and the man is not meeting up to the responsibility of that office, you relieve the man. You relieve the man, not just Mele Kyari. If Nigeria had to be a society, Tinubu would have resigned. I saw a video of some people, community where these Fulani people massacre. You see the video of people lying on the floor with little children and all that. Their fathers, their mothers, their brothers, their sisters, the whole community, dead body. If Nigeria were to be a society of human beings, Tinubu would just put a signature because he has failed. All the people that died, they died because Tinubu failed to perform his function as the president of this country. If Tinubu were to be a white man, he would have resigned. You know that video. But Nigeria, is this so? Because we live for vanity as far as Nigeria is concerned. We live for the acquisition, avarice. That's just our ambition as far as Nigeria is concerned.
So do we fold our hands and keep watching the way the things are being run?
So what would you do?
We should not do anything.
What do you do?
What do you think we can do as a people?
What do we,
this is our collective
as a people, Nigerians, they are so educated, so to say, but at the same time, very primitive. Nigeria is a combination of literacy and literacy. And it's really working well for us. Look at professors. Look at men of God when Jonathan was in office. You had those that took fuel to 141 per liter. And they say, oh, they will put down Nigeria. They will put down Nigeria. Professors, PhD holders, they will want to put down Nigeria when Jonathan was in the office. So their whole tribe man put fuel at 900 naira. We are buying it.
Okay.
And they were telling the issue is...
at the end of the day, it's the due to agenda where Nigerians will not keep talking for development and making our recommendations. We're not going to fold our hands and assume that everything's going wrong. But let's look at the next story now. There are concerns have been raised about how kidnappers in Nigeria continue to operate despite technological advancements aimed at enhancing security. President of the Nigerian Association of Nigerian Students, Henry Okunomo, criticized the effectiveness of measures like SIM card registration, enrollment, and the use of Nigeria's communication satellite in combating crime. These systems, kidnappers can still make ransom calls without being traced, leading to frustration among victims and the public. Security agencies have been accused of either inefficiency or complicity. Now, officials from the Nigerian Communications Commission, that's the NCC, and the Nigerian Communications Satellite Company, NICOMSAT, defended their roles, stating that while they provide necessary data and support, the responsibility for tracking and arresting criminals lies with the security agencies. The public remains dissatisfied, questioning the effectiveness of these technological tools in addressing the ongoing kidnap cases. Now, these were some of the things that were mentioned when we were asked to go or register your SIM cards, or talks about NIN security, or we're like, okay, fine, thank God, at least we're going to have this in place. But now questions are being raised. Why do we still have increasing cases of insecurity, even with all of these details that you have of every SIM card? Yes, let's get your thoughts on this story.
We have said it repeatedly that the governing values in Nigeria is faulty, and that is the problem that we have in Nigeria. Nigerians are not committed to doing a society. I've said it repeatedly, and that is the major problem that we have. Our values are bad. Otherwise, all these excuses, defenses they are giving and all that, the Nigerian army, Nigerian police, want to crack down on armless youths who are merely exercising their constitutional rights. Day by day, militants who do not massacre people in this country, day by day, and somebody is coming out to defend. Well, our duty is to, before you, like you rightly mentioned, before we register SIM, before we do all this registration, we will give us some of the long benefits that we can derive from this registration. Now we have registered. On the new story now is that our duty is only to register.
Are they out of place to say that?
They might not be out of place. Frank, to be fair to them, they might not be out of place. If their function is only to register, and like they also claimed that their duty is to supply data to the security agencies. If they have been able to do that effectively, you will excuse them because they have performed their roles. Are you with me? Now, if they have effectively performed their roles, then the blame now shifts to the security agencies, the army, the police, who want to kill harmless Nigerians for protesting against an impostor government. Are you with me? So our security attaché will not always be fighting against innocent people, fighting against harmless youth. When you see all these ragtag, all these Fulani boys, and when you see them on top of motorcycle, is it not road they are passing? Is it not road they pass? When you saw that video, they were all on motorbikes with their gun hang over their neck. Did they fly from the air? Were they spirits? So before such gang of boys can drive a distance down to a location and massacre people, in a country you have military, in a country you have police, in a country you have DSS.
So what do you think are the limitations with our security agencies?
The values. Our values are bad. I've told you now. Our values are bad.
How does value come in here?
Yeah,
You have to explain it. We're talking about security agencies.
When you say value,
what values are you talking
fine.
about?
The governing value of the mind. For example, now Tinubu is in power. Those who are supporting Buhari over the years, they are no longer supporting Tinubu. Now, those who are against Buhari over the years, who were against Jonathan over the years, now that Tinubu, Yoruba man, is now in power, they no longer see anything wrong with Tinubu government again. So what are we talking about? We are talking about sentiment and values. The operational sentiment among Nigerians is very bad. Once somebody from your community enter into public office, it becomes your turn. So anything can happen. You sabotage the government. You sabotage the government. Let him fail. Let him fail. And those who doesn't want to die, they don't want to die. So those who have the opportunity, okay, you go. You know, among the military, they will sabotage themselves among themselves, because if the military will go and catch up with these boys are your tribe boys, you know. So all things put together.
So the recruitment process is a problem.
Did you know here recently where they said those militant, those terrorists and all that, they were given amnesty and absorbed into the military? Did you not hear that military soldier, two captain, were captured in a barrack and taken away last year, or I think it was last year or towards the end of Buhari's government? How did that happen? That you go to a military barrack, not a Korofo soldier, you go and capture ragtag boys, go and capture two captain, soldier captain, capture them, use motorcycle, drive them away successfully. So you can know that this country, we have issues to really tackle in this country. If you really want Nigeria to be one Nigeria, there are issues that we really need to tackle, sit down to tackle.
You know, our security agencies have complained time and time again about some things not being in place, some equipment or that needs. They've talked about intelligence, some limitations with their intelligence gathering, having in mind that they do not have the enough advanced technology that other companies and other clients might have. And now they've been calls for introduction of external forces to help with that's external machineries now with security to help us handle insecurity in Nigeria. Do you think that is a way that we could go?
All these are excuses. Are you not saying conscientiously that these boys who are killing villagers in Sokoto, in Borno, in Gombe, they are more sophisticated than the Nigerian army?
Are they not?
Do you believe that? You believe that story?
You know, Nigeria, like you said, it's a story, but we've heard them having more.
Nigeria,
we've heard them having more sophisticated weapons.
We talk about satellite here
than
what do you do with satellites?
Security.
What do you do with satellites? What do you do? The phone call, is the phone call did not go through the same communication system? When you talk about tracker, who are those? Is it the ragtag boys that are supposed to do that? Those who have this equipment to track? If they stole your car today, give money to police will track that car, I will recover that car. But if you have no money to bring, that your car will lose forever. That your car will be lost forever. But to bring some other cover for police to track that car will come out. So when we talk of views, the sentiment that govern us, they are all bad. We don't live like human beings that God has created. So when people talk of prayer, God now, so God just they do, they look us for Nigeria. This is how God just looking us in Nigeria. Where we not tire for this kind of way of life people are living. Talking about the
Nigerians are living and talking about God, religion, and Christianity after the break about that. But please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, good to know you're still with us. We are back. The program is Society Watch, and I still have my guest. I'm still having an amazing conversation with him. And yes, before we went on that break, he mentioned prayers to God and all of that. And I told you when we return, we'll talk about a story that could just get to look at that aspect. Let's look at this story now. Father Calvin Ugu, a Catholic missionary priest in Gambia, advised Nigerians to prioritize safety as the Ember Month begins on Sundays. And then Ugu emphasized the importance of vehicle maintenance before praying against accidents or superstitions involving blood-sucking demons. Now, despite efforts by the Federal Safety Code to debunk beliefs that the Ember month, September through December, are riskier, many Nigerians continue to hold on to these superstitions. In a Facebook post, Father Ugu outlined 5 steps to help people avoid unnecessary dangers. Now, he said, while we pray against accidents and blood-sucking demons in the Ember months, please do us the favor of keeping the following 5 points in mind. Making sure that your oil, making effort to do necessary maintenance of your vehicle oil. He talked about checking your brakes. He talked about your morning checks of your vehicle before you moved out. He talked about the tire, that you shouldn't compromise on your car tires. Have all of these in mind, else you'll be putting yourself in danger. All of those basic things that should actually be looked out for while you might want to take a journey or while you might want to drive. Do we really pay? How much attention would you say Nigerians pay? He even talked about alcohol, that people should not drink and drive. How much attention would you say the Nigerians really pay to safety, especially when driving is concerned?
Well, it's good to advise, give advice to people, but frankly speaking, it's quite sad that we need a foreigner to advise us before we know what we should really do.
The Reverend Father is not a foreigner.
Okay.
He has a Nigerian name.
It's a Nigerian?
Yes.
But lives
yes.
somewhere? Okay, fine. Okay, that's why he's interested in Nigeria. Okay, fine. If that is the case, you see, the truth of the matter is, I just told my brethren few Sundays ago, where we look at the lesson, afflictions in the life of Christians. Nigeria tend to believe that once you call Jesus, nothing will happen to you anymore. It's quite deceitful. It's quite deceitful. If you call out the name of Jesus, write the name of Jesus on your forehead, and you enter the road without looking at the road, the car will knock you down. That name of Jesus you are calling will not save you. The car will knock you down. So what this young man has said is quite true. Prayer is to do the things that you cannot do for yourself. You need prayer for things that God is required to, things that are bigger than you, that only God can do for you. That is where you need prayer. Not the things you can do. You can put a kettle on the fire, make your eba and eat. You will now sit down there. God will boil the fire for you, make the fire for you, warm the water for you. Hungry will kill you. So what we are saying here, Nigerians, you wake up from this kind of religion, this blindfolded religion that we are selling everywhere. This is not the religion that Jesus died for. This is not Christianity that Jesus died for. Christianity that Jesus died for does not remove you and me from the vagaries of life, the issues of life. And it was very clear in the scripture. There is nothing happen to you that is not common among men. And that you become a Christian does not remove you from your humanity. You are still a human. You are still a human. So if somebody is telling you some specific thing, and you are carried away, then you just go to the road and one car will knock you and you are gone. We say to God be the glory. And you are over.
Superstitious belief, it has been in our society for a long time.
That's what I'm telling you.
And it's something that a lot of people hold really strong to themselves. When we talk about things like accidents, right? You hear things like, even if you do everything you're supposed to do, you still need, God to protect you and stuff like that. So, and then he has talked about superstitions, that from September to December, there's something about the Ember month. There's something about the Ember month and accidents. There's something about the Ember. I don't know if you have ever heard people say that, or you are aware of that particular ideology that some people have.
Yes, it's for the sake of time. Let me be very frank with you. I have said it here before now. only this part of the country, like if you go to Edo Delta, you see people who are real in terms of witches and wizard activities. You see people confess wish. This my brother had an accident and died. I was responsible for that accident and all that. So that's what.
So that's the only part of the country where we have that.
No, I'm not saying so. But okay. in this other part, they know the green now. They will say no wish here. Everybody here is safe now. You understand? Here, nobody will be saying in this community. Nobody will accept there's a wish and wizard here. I've been in Rivers for more than 20 years, more than 25 years. You know, but here you can't see somebody saying a wish. But in my place in Delta, in Edo State, you see people confess wish. So thing. I mean, okay, now I want to die. He need prayer so that he can recover from his sickness.
So this is not superstitious at the end of the day.
No, what I'm telling you now is that somebody had an accident. If you have done what you're supposed to do right, an accident still occur. It has nothing to do with superstitions of any kind, but the iniquity of men. That is why we should preach more of repentance. Tell the people to take away their hands from evil. Take away their hands from sin. Somebody carry your name somewhere to go and do evil. And when something happens, say it's superstitious. People are doing evil. There's no superstition anyway that once December come, October, this October it has been listed that 50 people must die. Then after October, then November, 80 people must die. Then it must happen. There's no such superstition. It is the evil, the iniquity of the people. Why is it that the way it is happening in Nigeria every October, December, November, and September? Why is it so it's not happening like that in America? Or this is only in Nigeria? Why is this does not happen like that in UK?
I'm trying
in
to
France?
get you. Are you saying it's happening or you're saying it's not
What
happening?
I am telling you
Yes.
is that these things happen. It has nothing to do with any superstition. Naturally, that is the way it is. It has nothing to do like that. I have to do that. One, if you don't do what you're supposed to, just as this man has said, if you have a bad tire and you are not driving on the high speed from here to worry, you will get to a place that tire will run and it will burst and push you to the bush. It has nothing to do with superstition. Or you have a wicked brother or wicked sister who will now become envious of your explosion, material explosion, and now begin to look at you. They want to hear your name in this family, and now begin to see I can bring you down. These are the things we have in Black Africa, especially Nigeria. So it has nothing to do with superstition, just the evil of the people.
So you agree that it exists. This is not just somebody's idea coming from nowhere.
No, but the iniquity. Tell the people, preach if you are a preacher. Tell the people, let your family people progress. When your family people progress, it's your own good. Tell the people, let your community people progress. Don't hinder the prosperity of your community people. If they progress, it's also for your own good. So don't think evil. Think of how you can set a trap for them on the way. These are the things we must regulate and correct. Preach to ourselves. Tell ourselves to take away our hands from iniquity. Not all these flamboyant or these deceitful gospel people are preaching anywhere. Poverty is not your portion and you should not be sick. And people are sick every day.
You know, recently we've been having a lot of arguments online. Since we're talking about religion, we've been having a lot of arguments online with some people saying that religion is the problem of Nigeria and some people saying religion is not. But from your explanation, I would really like to get your perspective to this. Do you think or do you agree? How do you think that religion has impacted Nigeria? I
have told you where we started. And I've said it here repeatedly. The Christianity that Jesus died for, that he conferred on the apostle to carry to the world, cannot be a problem to any community. That Christianity cannot be a problem to any community. But don't forget, Jesus told you, and the apostle later on re-emphasized repeatedly, that many false preachers will come. Today, men have risen and they have formed churches. They are men of God. We are celebrating them in our country. So this what they are doing is not of Christ, of men. Until we are able to separate the gospel of Christ from these fake preachers, we will continue to say religion is our problem, religion is our problem. Christianity that Jesus died for is not the problem of any man. It's not the problem of any country or any continent. It builds society. The religion, the Christianity that Jesus died for, build people, build community, build society.
Which one do we have now? Which one do we have now in Nigeria?
It's fake one.
We have the fake one.
The popular Christianity in Nigeria is fake.
That means how is it affecting? How is it impacting the nation now?
Well, you know, even now know how they affect now.
Yeah,
because when they tell the people, they don't accept. You say, leave man or don't judge a man, or somebody will tell you like that. Because the people themselves, they don't want to cool down to say, what is the truth? What is the truth? Jesus said, know the truth and will set you free from frivolous men. But Nigerians, are they ready? They're not ready. Don't judge a man of God. Don't judge a man of God. Who is a man of God? Because he's driving jeep. Because he has a church that is long from here to the other end.
Is that the problem?
So what
are we against the wealth of the men of God?
What is the wealth? When you say wealth, this is what I'm saying. We are. When you say wealth, how did you become wealthy? When you say man of God is wealthy, how? The church, the resources of a church, does it belong to a man of God? The resources that you and I contributed, just like as Nigerian politicians are doing today, using our collective wealth at their personal privacy. Is that how it's supposed to be? And you are bringing that into the church and say the wealth of a man of God. Who's the wealth of a man of God? Who is that man of God that is wealthy? What has he been doing before he formed church? So how much does he have before he formed a church?
You think no man of God is wealthy?
I'm not saying you cannot be. If you are doing something, using your hand to work, Paul was a preacher, yet he wasn't working.
What if he's not working, but his church members are sowing seed?
Who is the seed? Is he the only man that should be sowing seed to in the church?
Is our anger with the money that is coming to the men of God or something else?
These are the issue.
Yes.
A needy by the gospel of Christ. Not be pockets when don't full. Let me use that word. Not be filled pockets. You want to put more. You want to put more. And you are seeing one who is dying. That's not the gospel. You want to sow seed. You want to impress the man of God. Let me give you 20 million the other day. You don't do that in Christ. You give seed to people who need that seed. Not the one, the pocket that's already filled. You don't do that in Christ.
So
if you are seeing me,
the people sowing the seed are the problem. That's what you're saying.
They are timid now. They are spiritual timid.
So it's not the men of God that are the problem. Ooh.
Together is what they taught them now. When somebody is saying that if you don't pay your tithe, the accident, you will get accident and die away. You make the people to be afraid, and he come and bring something for you. Is that not the gospel? That's not the gospel. So what you are saying until Nigerians, especially the educated ones, those who say they are PhD holder, degree holder, BSc holder, and all that, they are even the biggest fools in this whole arena.
No, we can't say that. We can't call the PhD holders fools.
You have to take it back,
because that's a generic statement.
How do you define it? No, I didn't mention anybody's name. How do you define a fool? A fool is somebody who knows what is right and will not do it. That's a fool. If you know this is what is right for you to do, and you wouldn't do that, you do the wrong thing, then you made yourself a fool. It's not the man who made the pronouncement.
If we read the country of religion, you think the country will be better?
No, wow. The country we find ourselves, before all of us today become church owners and Christians, we have traditional religion in this country. We have morals at the extreme. Morals. I can't see what belongs to you and I want to destroy it intentionally. I can't see what belongs to you and I want to take it, to rob you of it. This killing and killing and killing that's everywhere today. We were once in this country. Very beautiful environment. But today, we say we are Christian, we are Muslim and all that. Then look at our environment, look at our country. So we are not obeying the doctrine that religion even preach. The religion we are talking about, we don't obey the one Jesus Christ preached, the one Islam preached, we don't obey it. Otherwise, a Christian cannot be a thief now. You can't be a Christian and you are a public office, you are stealing money. And you say you are a Christian, you are carrying your shoulder. You are deceiving yourself. You cannot say you are a true Muslim and you are stealing public funds. You are a thief now. Then tomorrow you run to Saudi Arabia to go and buy your head done. If the money in Saudi Arabia was stolen the way you are stealing the one in your country, can you go to that place and enjoy yourself? So that is the issue.
All right.
We must come down to the reality. Otherwise, our country will continue to run the way we are running.
Okay, talking about people sowing seed to men of God and your point on that one, I wonder how you'd react to this story where we have reports that Rema, the Afrobeat star, Divine Ukubo, donated 105 million naira to a Christ Embassy Church in Benin, Edo State during a Sunday service. He expects gratitude for the church support and guidance, particularly during a difficult period after his father's death. Rema allocated the donation to various church initiatives 40 million naira for church infrastructure, 20 million naira for the Rhapsody of Realities program, 20 million naira for the Teens Church infrastructure, and 20 million naira for widows in the church. He also shared how the church has helped his family when they were struggling after his father's passing. This is another case of donation to the church. How would you react to this?
If you donate your money, the money you have worked for, I don't have problem with you how you spend your personal money. But what I'm saying, and what Nigerian governors and the president, name it, are repeatedly doing in this country, is because the people of this country, the level of social, spiritual timidity is part of the crisis we have in this country. The Nigerian Constitution forbids using public fund on religion issue. If we were to be in a civilized society, any governor who gives public fund to any religious organization, that governor will be forced to resign, because he has breached the constitution of the land. He has even breached the morals of religion. But in Nigeria, anything goes. We've said it repeatedly. Only a poor man and they go prison for Nigeria. Rich man in after many billion say he went to hiding. So today Nigeria has not been able to locate where Bello is hiding in Nigeria. We are still looking for him, but if he's a poor man, where is hiding when he Inogoni, they would have located him and brought him out for prosecution. But when it's somebody in government, we are looking for him, he's still hiding. He's still hiding, yet he's still speaking from hiding. That's in country we find ourselves. So things like this is an aberration of governance. You don't use public money as aggrandizement. This is
Rema is a musician, so in government. Was
it not the one Ekiti?
No. Rema is a musician.
Okay, this Rema. Okay, I thought the other one.
Okay, no, that's not the story we're discussing.
Oh, Rema. Sorry about that. I thought that young man, the one they say gave but it's not the same 105.
The story is about Rema, the music.
The one like that in Ekiti.
Yes, I'm aware.
I thought that one you are bringing again.
No.
If he's giving his money to, it's personal money now.
But then, isn't that again? Or coming in contrary to what you stated earlier when you said this is the problem with Nigerians when they give money to people who already have, they're giving their monies to pastors, and you defaulted that particular act right here. It just the previous story, and now you're saying it's his business and anywhere he wants to send his money.
See what I'm telling you, you need to really get it clear. This young man is his personal money. If you give your personal money to anywhere you want to, I will not challenge you. But when you make it niche, this one he didn't say give it to any one man of God or so see to a man of God. He said give it to a church. It is the duty of the church to use that fund, that money, whichever way they want to use it. Now, but from the story, try to apportion the usage of that fund. That is not my business. But what I'm saying now, in a situation where you make it a gospel, so see to the life of a man of God, that gospel is faulty. Get my position very clear. Get my position very clear. When I make it, I'm a man of God. Therefore, so see to my ministry. By the time you sow to me, the more you sow to me, God will bless you 10 times.
Is it against what the Bible already said? Did the Bible fault sowing seed to a man of God?
Christianity did not start in Nigeria.
Because when you talk about Christianity, you definitely have to look at the Bible.
Christianity, that's what I'm telling you. Christianity did not start in Nigeria. We have models of preachers. Peter preached till he died. Paul preached till he died. Is there anyone who by virtue of preaching the gospel of Christ become a millionaire? Oh, as at that time, was there no riches in the world? So
your problem is with them becoming millionaires?
It's not my problem. It's not my problem. What I'm telling you, you are misleading the people.
Misleading people by telling them what the Bible says?
No, the Bible didn't say so.
I'm asking you against sowing seed to pastors.
The Bible didn't say so. What I'm telling you, if you on your own decided to give gifts to your pastor, it's not something in public. Christianity that is celebrated in public is not the one that Jesus
So you're saying the pastor should choose
now for example, on your own, if you decide to help your pastor, so to say, brother, this multi reach my hand, take. It's secret. The gospel that Jesus preached. When you do good, do not let your left hand to know what your right hand is doing. And as you give to that pastor should not be your sole object that will only receive your money. As you give to him, you should be able, okay, within the church, you also have resources. Okay, this sister is children. I don't pay school fees. Sister, I beg. I say your pikin never pay your children fee. I beg, hold this 50,000. So in such a
situation, you will not have.
It's a lifestyle. It's your lifestyle as a Christian. It's not something a pastor will tell you every time. Now, pastor, you will come. Now, pastor, this one will come. Now, pastor, and you are seeing a poor man who are not eating in the church. You are seeing a poor woman. The children are out of school. But your focus is only on the pastor because that's the message you were given. And I'm telling you, that message is not of Christ. It's what I'm telling you. That message is not of Christ. And when you give to your pastor, it's not something to hear. When you give to a brother or a sister, it's not something to ears to hear. So this one they celebrate to make them say, oh, we are on top, we are on top. It's of men.
That when you say celebrate, who are you referring to now? The pastor or the giver?
Any gospel, any practice you do, because we are talking, when you say if anything I want to say, I should refer to the Bible. Jesus made it clear. If you do good, if you do your charity, do not let your left hand, let your charity be in secret. The man of God wants to give 5 bags to some poor community. They will bring journalists, bring cameras everywhere. Is that the gospel?
Is that not the gospel?
That's not the gospel now.
But
you are celebrating yourself now.
You didn't answer the question that I asked you. If sowing seed to a pastor is not in the Bible, you didn't answer.
There is nothing like sowing seed to a pastor.
The life of a pastor is against the Bible.
See, the life of the church is the gathering of children of God. Don't make the pastor as a sole figure that without the pastor nothing happens. You understand? Maybe if I have time with you, there are things I will.
Don't assume that the people don't understand what you're saying. You're very well understood, but then the question has still not been answered.
That what?
But anyway, we do not have so much time.
No, just
no.
Within a few seconds.
In the Bible, the Bible say it is against. Is it against the religion that's Christianity now? According to the Bible,
yes, to
give to your pastor. That is the okay. This is a yes or no. Let's get your answer.
As you give to your pastor, you give to that members.
Is the Bible against giving to the pastor?
Don't personalize it to a pastor.
Okay, because that was where the argument started.
Don't personalize it to a pastor.
Give to the brethren, give to this. All of these explanations came now.
They are all your brethren.
When you started your analysis, you were against giving to the pastor when you understand.
I'm not against giving to the pastor. I said making the pastor an object of giving.
Okay.
Is faulty. That's what I said.
Right, time's up.
You can't make the pastor the object of giving.
Thank you so much for your analysis on
this.
We appreciate your time.
Thank you too.
Okay, and we must thank you for being a part of this conversation. It wouldn't have been possible without you. I must also thank Silas behind the camera and Emmanuel at the MCR. All right, connected with us on all of our socials, on Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, on Instagram and TikTok at Atlantic TV Network 1 and Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website at www.atlanticnetwork.tv. I am Eni Doye. Thank you once again for watching. Stay with us on ATN.